Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Tatiana and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia. Last Monday night I started a brand new series of videos called Fantastic Fun Folds because who doesn't like a little bit of alliteration? Anyway, last week we looked at a Z fold card and tonight we're going to extend that Z fold and create what's called a double Z, and there are different versions of the double Z fun fold card. So I'm going to show you one version tonight and then next Monday at 8 PM we'll look at another version. There's nothing else really to chit chat about. When you do step in and say hello, do note that if you see the little red live there, that means I am live and you're currently watching me live. Otherwise you're watching the recording, but please still do say hi because I will reply, and let me know if you have any questions if I'm not explaining anything clearly enough. So let's head to the craft desk and get stampin'. Fabulous. Here we are at the craft desk. Good night, sweetheart. Go to bed. Yes. Yes, you can. Drink my water and go to bed, please. Sorry. Little miss decided she's not sleeping. Okay, here we are. I have not pre-cut anything because I wanted to show you how to cut the Z fold card. We're going to start with A4 paper. I am using lovely lipstick. If you are in North America, you'd be using letter. I'm not going to give you the inches because our paper has complete different, ratio. Hello Jessica, thanks for joining me. And so I'm keeping it that, but essentially what I'm doing is cutting this in half. So let's start with cutting the paper in half, and no, you cannot say hello. Go to bed please, sweetheart. Cutting in half, and for the A4 paper that is 148.5 millimeters. I like to work in millimeters. And now we're going to score the cardstock in half. This is exactly what we did last week for the Z fold card. Now at the moment this is pretty much the exact same thing as a regular card base, and what makes it different is the second score line. Now if that's at 10.5, we need to do 5.25. Concentrating, counting. So we're taking a second score line and scoring it there. Now I can put that, I'm going to put the trimmer to the side just briefly while I fold. So I'm going to fold along those lines and use my bone folder to make sure that's a nice good score, and then the second score line we fold the other way, thus creating the Z fold. Give it a nice crisp finish, and that we've now created the first Z fold. For the second part, or for the double part of the Z fold, we're going to need another strip of cardstock, the exact same width. So I just take the bit that I've cut off. Hi Vicky, thanks for joining me. So I simply take the bit I've cut off, and you can do this at any height you want. So you can have a little strip, a really thick strip. You don't want it all the way height, but hello Renee. I really like thirds. Visually they're very pleasing and they work really well, or quarters. And so I'm thinking I'll go a third. Just got to do the maths because I forgot to do this maths off camera, and of course let's say 15, so it'll be 5. Let's cut it at 5 centimeters. Just keep it nice and easy. Yes, it is nice to chat live, isn't it Vicky? So I've cut a piece that is 5 centimeters. You could do it thinner. There is nothing to say you can't. I'm just choosing that because I like the visual thirds, and it's something, I think the ones I've done in the past have been thinner, so it's a bit fun to do something a little bit different. And again, we're going to add the same score lines in as we did with our card base. So at 10.5, and then 5.25, because I work down to 0.5 millimeter. And there we go. I'm just going to move camera down now because I was using the space so I can fit the whole trimmer. Hello Jenny, thank you for joining me. Hope you are well too. I am well. And again, I'm going to repeat burnishing these score lines, and exactly the same as the base of the card. So I've got another basically mini Z, and the way this gets attached, so we've got the card this way, morning K, and then we're going to flip the Z. So I've done a rotate and flip, kind of, I don't know, 360, but it's basically going to attach as so, and that's where we get the double Z. That's where the name of this card fold essentially comes from, the double Z. And I will be attaching mine not right on the base. You can certainly, there's no hard fast rules of where you can attach it at the bottom and further in the middle, though I don't think that looks as good, or at the top. We're going to go a little bit up from the bottom basically, but let's first decorate. So there will be covering. This will be attached to the inside of the card, and then that will be attached to the front there. So there will be bits that are covered up because of the double Z. Just for noting that so that you know when you are designing your own. So I've just pulled out my stash of pre-cut Whisper White, and this is the perfect size for the inside of a card. It is at 10 centimeters wider and at 14.35. This glue is the one that's finishing up. I'm not going to decorate this one as I normally do, just simply because it is going to have the decorations of the second Z. I'm going to grab the other glue. Not into this whole glue not coming out business. There we go. This is a newer glue. Yoda comes along. Hello, Yoda. For those who don't know, Jenny's cat is Yoda. I haven't gone crazy. I'm not seeing Yoda. Yes, Kay, I was very surprised you said morning, but I guess it's morning. Where are you? So there we go. We're getting the visual. I'm just placing this back down for the visual so that you see what it looks like, essentially. And let's add another white panel like we did last week. Did I keep the one from last week? No, I've used it up for something. So we're just going to cut this. So I said that was 5. I'm going to trim this down. 2.5, 5. That should be right. I don't know the names of the others. And Kaz looks like a ragdoll. Okay. Excellent. I'm sure they keep you very entertained and busy. That is perfect fit. Just going to add some liquid glue. I prefer this Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue because when I'm lining things up, you can see I've got some wiggle room before it fully a cavity. That's lovely. Ooh, what a wonderful household you've got there, Jenny. It's full of, I'm trying to find the right words. Joy and happiness is ones that are coming to my mind. Okay, I thought it would be fun to also use this wonderful DSP. It is the Best Dressed DSP, and I have gone ahead and die cut this using, here they are, the Stitched So Sweetly dies. I thought that would look quite nice on the front. And the reason why I'm using Lovely Lipstick is because of this beautiful Lovely Lipstick in the flowers here. So I'm coordinating that. And we're going to have that there. So how are we going to decorate that? That's going to go there. I'm thinking I've pulled out the yellow already. We're going to trim the yellow to fit on that panel there. I like that. Okay, so a little bit more cutting. I know that I want it 4.5 high. That's the same width of a card, so that's 10. So I've cut that to be 5 millimeters smaller. Ooh, trouble picking that up. Then this kind of front panel of the Z fold. Perfect. And isn't that beautiful on the back as well there? It's a really stunning, and it's a 6x6 DSP pack, designer series paper. And that's why I use the liquid glue, because it gives me that moment of allowing to move that around. And I'm going to add an itty bit there. It's just that little bit too shy, or too big. Not quite too shy. It's not shy. And that should do the trick. Ooh. Perfect. Excellent. Is that line up? No. It's going to be all clever and line it up. That's not, no, doesn't matter. The DSP is pretty. And I don't have the stamp set just because I can't own everything, but the stamp set is lovely. It's very feminine, and the dies allow you to create this little cute handbag. And there's lots of clever people out there that have created lots of fun variations. So I'm constantly going back to the card base and seeing how it's going to look, checking to see if I'm happy. And what we might do, let's see if that would be overpowering, because essentially this card should be able to lay flat even though it's got that double Z fold, and this will go here. Doing my workings out. We'll add white there. Where's that bit? We'll add a white panel so that we can add a stamped sentiment as well. So is that 5, 4.5? And then perfect. Just making sure I had no more comments or questions before I continue. And there. And this beautiful stitched die, which was the So Sweetly die, I used the biggest one, so it's got a set there that all fit nicely into each other. That also coordinates with this wonderful, you thought the same thing, the DSP. It also has this wonderful stamp set which I thought we could use tonight. And I'm still, your friendship is a blessing. I really want to use that. But I also want, I love the Can't Thank You Enough and Sending Healing Hugs. Let's see. Sending Healing Hugs fits beautifully into that. And that sits. Sending healing hugs works really well. I'm going to go with the thank you. Hello Priscilla, lovely. How are you? I can't help but go with the thank you simply because it just works so beautifully. And we'll do a fun, will we? Can we? Don't have the marker. Oh, the one time I think I don't need the marker. Well, anyway, sorry, I am talking to myself essentially. I am well, Priscilla. How are you? It has been humid here. Okay, Jenny, no worries. It has been hot, 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 hot. And I don't know, my brain stops working when it's so hot. I am excited though. I have worked out and finalized the dates for my next craft retreat. Oh, so excited. So it'll be starting at 2 p.m. on Friday, the 15th of May. Hello, Christy. Thank you for joining me. Until Sunday, the 15th, 16th, 17th at a little town not far from me called Warhope. It's got this great room in the Warhope Resort and Motel, and it is fantastic. So much natural light and good lighting, and it has great tables. So everyone would get a table to themselves, and it is a fun, fun, fun weekend. Can't wait. So I'll be posting more details. Just checking. Oh, I should check with the die first. Nope. Just trying to use up bits so that I'm not wasting cardstock. It's okay, that cardstock won't be wasted either way. There we go. I can stamp that there. And what I would ideally like is to have the lovely lipstick thank you, and that I can't enough in black, but I don't have the lovely lipstick marker to be able to do that with the regular markers, so we're going to have to improvise a little bit with washi tape. So I'm going to cover the bits that I want to be in black. And ink up the thank you. Now don't panic, I'm not going to stamp with the washi tape there. So this is what you would do markers, not this. But if you don't have the markers, well, you have one of the color markers, you can do this. So I'm just going to grab the black Stampin' Write marker and take the brush end, and oh, I got a bit of pink on the E for enough. Good evening, Megan. Watch the replay. Yeah, Married at First Sight. Yes, I know, Megan. That does. Yes, I have already created basically the base of the double Z fold card, but you can watch the replay and see how I did that. I'm just showing how you can get two different colors of stamping on the one. Now I know that looks like a mess, it should work though. So I'm adding ink to the I can't thank you. That is getting a bit thick. And now you're just going to do a little puff. Hello, Debbie. Thank you for joining me. Oh my, Megan, don't worry, we all need to eat, I get it. Stamping. Perfect. Love it. Stamp it, ship it. That is exactly the look I was going for. So normally I would do that with two sets of markers, the lovely lipstick and the black. Hello, Danielle. What time is it for you? Can't be too late. Or no, it can't be too early. Or yes, early is the right word. So I can't thank you enough. And now we're going to center our die. The good thing about stamping first, hello Glenda, and then die cutting after is that you know that your die will be more perfectly centered. I could have stamped, but And there is a guide there, but if you want that extra perfection, because as you can see that edge is closer to that and might not perfectly align. 10-20, not too bad at all. And how awesome is that die? And we're going to put it there. Hope it's not being lost. I feel like it's being lost. Now, here's my neat trick. Oh, thank you, Debbie. That's very sweet. My neat trick, when I feel like the DSP is overpowering my other things on top, the best way to do that, to tone it down, that is to use a piece of vellum. And as soon as you put vellum on, it tones down. That's the best word. You're in bed, or oh well, it is late in New Zealand, Sylvia. So can you immediately see the difference there? I'll do a half-half. This is one of my favorite tricks. Can you see how the sentiment is very lost on the half where you can just see the DSP, but as soon as I've added the vellum, it tones down the DSP or the busyness or the colors, and then you can, the sentiment stands out more. What's that, Megan? You're thinking of going for a night swim? Oh my goodness, how it's 28. Whew, that's hot. I have no idea what it is. Outside's not so bad here. I do have the aircon on tonight. Had it on today. Couldn't cope with the heat today. So this piece is perfect. Now you can cut your vellum to be smaller, so you've got a border of the DSP, and then you've got the lighter within the vellum. But I'm going to go with the full strength, full size. I'll be right back. And pop that out. There we go. Now vellum does show glue when you glue it together. So the trick is to put the glue where it's not going to be seen, which in our case will be underneath the sentiment. So I can add a swoosh of glue about yay. It's not very accurate, but it's there. It'll hold it in place, and I don't mind the wispy lifting up. There. Oh, like it. Love it, in fact. And just for kicks, we shall add some metallic thread behind. This is the rose metallic thread. That'll look really nicely behind. Now, the way I like to attach the metallic thread is by using a little bit of tear and tape, which I put somewhere. There we go. So again, I'll put it right where it's going to be hidden underneath the sentiment, and peel that off, and the sentiment will pop up on dimensional. So let's do that right now. Have that all ready. Let's just release, taking off the release paper there. And now I just take the end of the metallic thread and kind of roughly wind it around my fingers and snip. I want the metallic thread to be bigger than the sentiment, so that it sticks up from behind the sentiment. So there, that's, I know it's the wrong way around, I haven't gone crazy, but before I stick that down, I'm going to tuck in the metallic thread ends onto that bit, and you can just play around with it a bit. You can lift up bits and stick them out and pull them down, and I find the messier it looks, the better it looks, if that makes any sense at all. And there we go. Pretty, pretty, pretty. And this isn't assembled quite yet, but there. Can't thank you enough. And then I wanted to stamp for you, or no, what we're going to do is add a flower. Let's do a little bit of maybe we should have added the DSP there instead of the white. Yeah, I like the idea of the DSP there. I'm going to have to cut a strip of that DSP. Oh. If you could see my desk. Ah, sorry, Megan, what am I holding up to the camera? I no longer have my iPad showing me comments, so that's, I'm guessing you want this to be held up to the camera so you can see the metallic thread sticking up from behind. If that wasn't it, let me know, because my mind's already moving on to the assembly of the card. I'm just going to cut some DSP. So that was at 5, or just under 5. It's 2.5 millimeters smaller than 5. Oh, you're welcome, Megan. Because, you know, that makes sense to anybody. 2.5 millimeters smaller than 5. Oh no, it's more than that. Ah, it's that way. And then it's 5 millimeters smaller than 5 this way. So we'll go with that end because it had more lovely lipstick. That flower's kind of there. Perfect. I think that'll look quite lovely there. And now to assemble our card, essentially. And all of this needs glue because it'll be all glued down. And then all of this needs glue because that'll be glued down. But before we, where did it go? Oh, there it is. Seriously, you should see my desk. Before we go, let's just check out what it would look like if I added that DSP there without the vellum. I think I like it. Just bringing in that DSP a little bit more. No worries, Megan. Enjoy your dinner. Bon appetit. So that's that. So it was 2.5 millimeters smaller than 5. Sorry, my brain just works the way it works. And that's how I measure things out. Going to add, so before I glue that down, I'm just going to see how it all looks together before committing to the final. But I like that. The vellum sets the sentiment out, but that panel there adds that little bit of extra color and ties in that panel there. So I'm basically talking through my thinking with you guys tonight, just because I thought you'd like to learn a bit more about why I choose to do some of the things that I choose. I have studied graphic design, and sometimes some of these things are things that we have learnt in our course. There we go. Now, as I was saying, I'm going to add this to the bottom part of the card, and the glue needs to go on here and on here, nowhere else. So it's kind of good to have it all folded up. And I'm going to keep the glue to the middle of those areas. Good, I'm not the only one. Not that that ever bothered me. There's generally not many people around. Hubby is currently gaming, so he's got the door closed and he can't hear me. only you all and everyone on YouTube watching the replay can hear me now. So essentially, there's the card. As you can see, there's the double Z, because there are 2 of them. So that's the basics of the card. And you can see it does lie flat, so you can write your message in nice and easily, and it sits flat inside the envelope, and it stands up very nicely for someone to display. But before we finish off, we should add our sentiment panel, and by adding this, it also gives us a little bit more, I'd like to use the word privacy. I don't know if that's the right word, but it covers up a bit more of the inside, because the Z fold card does expose the inside of the card, and that's its downfall, I guess. But by adding a bigger panel to the front, we're covering it up a bit. Thank you, Danielle. And giving that little bit of extra writing area, and I have added that panel in, so you could still write in there, though it would be a bit tricky. So essentially that was not as needed. But now I'm just going to line this up, and I want some glue down across the bottom and across that side, so in an L shape. As I'm flipping, I know that it's this half and there, not this half, because it'll be flipped and glued down that way. So you've just got to take note of where you need to put glue. There we go, there's my L, back to front L, and now we can attach that to the card front. And I think, well, I would like to decorate the envelope as well, and what would be really fun is to decorate the envelope with the DSP. So we'll put that to the side, and because this is a 6x6, there, it is going to waste a little bit, I guess you could say, but at least the entire flap will be covered. So I'm going to flip that over and grab a pencil. Honestly, I need to tidy up my desk. Drawing a line there. Now carefully, without moving, opening the, ooh, there we go. And now I can trim that. I will try to use, so the way I'm looking at this is I'm making sure my very light pencil line there, straight down the middle of that blade runner, and then that bit is cut. And you can use that on a card quite easily, that angled bit, that would look quite lovely. So do not throw that out, and there are little bits that you might not be able to use, but it does make the envelope look so pretty, and matchy is the main thing. Around the corner. There. Where did I put the envelope? Oh gosh. I need to do a cleanup of my desk, and that makes the envelope so pretty. Again, I'm just going to swoosh some glue on and pick that up and take it to the envelope. And then while it's still drying, the other thing I could have done is got that straight edge and then glued down the envelope flat and then cut around it. That's the other way. But there we go. We now have a lovely coordinating envelope. Bing, bang, boom. I feel like crash, crash. The doors are crashing. Hubby just got some ice cream. And there's the double Z fold. It's a variation 1, version 1. Version 2 will come next week on Monday night. So Monday nights will be fantastic fold night. And this week on Wednesday, I can't go live because I'm going on the school excursion with my little man. So I'll do my live on Thursday instead. But just to let you all know that I do have a customer loyalty program. Every $50 you spend, you get a sticker, collect 10 stickers and get a $50 product for free from me. And if you'd like to order, you can place, there's three ways to order. One is online 24/7 at bit.ly/shop with Tatiana. It's a capital S, capital W, and a capital T. Thank you very much, Anne. And use host code for this month to get a free gift and that host code is 6J6CZFX4. Option 2 is to message me, and option 3 is to email me. Is that all? Yep, email at tatanacreative.com.au. I will enjoy the school outing. Thank you very much, Vicky. Thank you so much for joining me, spending time with me. I hope I have inspired you, taught you something new. I hope you can go home and create and try out the double Z fold card. Join me next week for another version of the double Z fold, or on Thursday for some creativity time. Thank you so much for joining me, and bye for now.